Well, we have just now seen, for those of you who care, we've seen the State of the Union address by Obama. And, well, I am a gay independent, and that means that I have certain different views of certain things, especially when it comes to economics, when it comes to foreign policy. But why should I bore you with this shit? I mean, my response to this whole thing is primarily I knew what to expect. I knew that he wasn't going to go the full 9 yards with other things that are, not really that important. But as far as let me just start off with the economic side. I mean, the policies that I don't know if they were policies, but his plans were pretty not well thought out. I mean, this is what we need. What we need is a president that will say and call Ben Bernanke, Helicopter Ben. Who's that? Who's Ben Bernanke? Well, Ben Bernanke, he's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the Bank of the United States. But it's not really a federal bank. It's not really a public institution or part of the government, although it should be nationalized. We need a president that will say, hey, Ben Bernanke, you're going to issue $1 trillion bonds so we can start investing that money into the recovery. We can start building bridges and all that, fast speed rail. We can do all these other things. That money is going to go and be pumped into the economy. We can help out the states that need help. We can issue century bonds. We can do all this stuff that he never mentioned. What about taxing Wall Street? What about that? He never mentioned that. Although he gloated that, oh yeah, the stock market's doing fine. But what about the average person who's not a stockbroker? Or the average person that doesn't have $2, $3, $4, $5 million invested in a portfolio somewhere? We're talking about, the average American. Well, he talked about raising the minimum wage. Fine. But he said, let's raise it to $9 an hour. That's not even the 1968 buying power of the dollar. You're not going to get the same thing. And in fact, a lot of people in America families are living below the poverty line. All right then. Well, it should be around $11, $12 an hour, according to many other economists that I trust on this issue. And of course, he had to deal with the whole gun control thing and the whole, I just hate both sides of the issue. I mean, I really hate the gun fetishists who masturbate to gun porn, and I hate these other people that, they think they're do-gooders because they oppose guns. They're gunophobes, whatever. I mean, look, there are going to be people that need guns. Women, gay people, especially if you're gay and you live in an area that's pretty homophobic. I understand that point. I'm a gun owner myself. But we do need background checks, and we do need some few things. But the thing is that this is, of course, another distraction. And that's what it is. Now, let's get to the gay thing, the gay issue here. Well, he did mention gay people once. Yeah, once. He talked about how we should not discriminate with, not all gay people, I think he talked about. He talked about specifically the members of the military who are gay and lesbian and bisexual. So that would be what the GLB, not the GLBT community. Transgenders are not allowed in the military. That's another issue. I'm not going to deal with that yet. But he talked about the military families of gay people, that gay military personnel should be able to get their benefits, spousal benefits, etc., etc. And well, it was just one line, and it says what did he say? He said, well, I forgot what he said, but it was something in the order of every military family should be treated equally, and they should all get their benefits equally, regardless if they're gay or straight. I mean, that's what he said. I mean, that's basically the gist of that one-liner. And so we are led to believe that Barack Obama is a fierce advocate for the gay community. He's a fierce advocate for the average man. Well, and I've already spelled out what the solution could be for the average man: a higher minimum wage, $1 trillion credit line from the Federal Reserve, and bonds and century bonds and infrastructure bonds that we can issue. But that's not, we can't go there. Wall Street sales tax. I mean, when you and I buy a shoe, we get a sales tax. You buy a computer, you get a sales tax. But when you start dealing, you start trading and selling and buying these commodity trades, these derivatives and all these other instruments and uncollateral debt instruments and securities and mortgages, you don't pay a sales tax. Isn't that wonderful? You can be a billionaire and you can buy all these things. I mean, they're tangible products. You buy them, you don't have to pay a single sales tax. Nothing, zero. Wall Street pays no sales tax. Now, there's progressive, wise one, Barack Obama. Did he talk about? No, of course not. He's part of Wall Street. He is controlled by Wall Street, no matter what you think. Well, back to the gay issue. And so he gave us that one-liner. Oh, well. And I saw on Twitter that some gay people are not they're not very comfortable with what was said. I mean, yeah, people are happy. Oh, he mentioned the benefits for gay military personnel. But the reason why there is a problem with those benefits is because of the Defense of Marriage Act. And that's the main issue here. But I don't recall during the whole speech that Barack Obama touched on the Defense of Marriage Act and how it should be rightfully repealed. And you might say, yeah, he didn't talk about it. Fine, he didn't talk about it. Personally, I don't care because, well, one, Obama, he's basically all words and almost no action. And then we have a reactionary fascist GOP House of Representatives. Do you think Republicans in the House are going to pass a repeal of the Defense of Marriage Act? You must be smoking if you think that this House is going to do that. You are out of it. You're delusional. And Andy Tal, by the way, he came out and said that supposedly that Obama was going to talk about the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. What happened there? Did Andy Tal get his info wrong? I don't know. But there was no mention of the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. And of course, I asked the same question. Do you think this Congress is going to pass the Employment Non-Discrimination Act? I mean, you have people within the House of, the fascist, fascistoids, these teabagger reactionaries. They think that the Civil Rights Act is unconstitutional. They think that a a private business can discriminate based on anything, religion, based on race, based on sex, gender, sexual orientation, or sexual behavior. And you have Brian Fisher, who's basically the talking head for the reactionary teabaggers. He's saying we should discriminate against homosexuals because, homosexuality is wrong. So, there you have it. We have a president who's capitulating to the reactionaries, and he didn't mention DOMA. He didn't mention Employment Non-Discrimination Act. And Andy Tao from Tao Road, he said, well, was it Andy Tao? I think it was, yes. Well, it was on his site, so it must have been him or one of his editors. But I think it was him that said, news alert, we just got intel that, or they read the speech before it was delivered, that Obama was going to talk about Employment Non-Discrimination Act. That's what I got from that. In fact, I think we posted on the Gay Report and then we took it off because it didn't happen. So no Employment Non-Discrimination Act, no repeal of the Defense Marriage Act. So let's go to immigration reform. What do we got there? Nothing. No mention of binational couples, because that's going to be a heated debate. I mean, that's one thing that's really up for grabs right now is, in fact, the immigration reform for gay couples. And there was no mention of that either. And of course, yes, I'm right that the reactionary Republicans, the teabaggers, are not going to go for this. I know. But at the same time, the president should have said, if he really believed in this, go ahead and say it. It's your State of the Union address. You can say, hey, we should have a program or a, immigration reform that includes everybody, including gay couples. And if you Republicans are so homophobic, so reactionary, that you're willing to derail the whole thing just because you don't want to give green cards to gay people, you are the problem. That's how he should have framed it. I mean, not exactly these words. I don't know if he wanted to. Go ahead and use them. But that's what I would have said. Now, let's see the Gay and Lesbian Task Force. National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, they released a statement about the State of the Union address. The National Gay and Lesbian Task Force responded to President Obama's State of the Union speech tonight by reiterating its call for an executive order prohibiting companies that contract with the federal government from discriminating in employment based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Passage of the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, federal legislation that would prohibit workplace discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people, and an end to the Discriminatory Defense of Marriage Act. What they're saying is, hey, this guy didn't say those things, and we're kind of pissed off. Well, I'm not pissed off. I'm not even shocked. I'm not. I mean, what else do you expect from this guy? He's pretty slick, you know? In his speech tonight, Obama said it's our unfinished task to restore the basic bargain that built this country. The idea that if you work hard and meet your responsibilities, you can get ahead no matter where you come from, what you like, what you look like, or who you love. I don't remember hearing that. Did he say that? I guess we have to see the transcript. We will ensure equal treatment for all service members and equal benefits. Oh yeah, that's part of the military. and equal benefits for their families, gay and straight. Yeah, but there's no mention of the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. Where is it? I don't see it. A bill was filed, I think, right? There's another bill for the Uniting Families Act, something like that, but it's for gay couples, bi-national couples. No mention of that either. Same-sex couples were among the guests at the State of the Union. Tracy Hempner, co-founder of Military Partners and Families Coalition, sat with First Lady Michelle Obama. Who was that, by the way? I didn't see her. Well, she wasn't mentioned in the speech, obviously. She is the wife of the military's first openly gay or lesbian general, Army Brigadier General Tammy Smith. Kelly Costello and her Peruvian wife, Fabiola Morales, were guests. Representative Gerald Nadler, the lead sponsor of the Uniting American Families Act, that was the act I was talking about just now, which is aimed at protecting binational same-sex couples from discrimination. Costello and Morales, who married in Washington, D.C., are fighting to stay together in the U.S. Whatever. And then the president of this group just goes on and on and on and on. All right. There you have it. I don't know if Obama really said that we should stop discriminating. I mean, that's what a lot of gay activists are trying to, get passed. I mean, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act has been lingering in Congress for like 20, 30 years already? Can't even pass that. And it's just employment. It's not even housing. It's not even public accommodation. It's not a Civil Rights Act. It's not part of Title VII. And that's what I keep mentioning to people. By the way, Employment Non-Discrimination Act has nothing to do with the Civil Rights Act or Title VII protections, which means that, restaurants and bakeries are not allowed to discriminate based on your sexual orientation. But we don't go that far. That's one thing that people should start thinking about, but I guess we're just concerned with employment. And that's fine, you can pass it. I don't, but I'm just saying that we can do more. We could ask for more. And that's what, really ticks me off about these gay activists. Some gay activists, not all of them, but some are just so partisan. Like, they worship Obama's cock. I mean, that's what they do. Especially Joe Jervis, from Joe My God. Oh, he just worships Obama. He's not an atheist. He believes in a God, and that's Obama. He's not going to criticize Obama. He's not going to tell you the truth because it's inconvenient for his political ideology. And for me, it's like, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you, hey, what about Title VII? What about the fact that discrimination based on sexual orientation is pretty much happening all around the country in public accommodations than it is in employment? And yet, that's not being that's not a big issue. People are talking about, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. Yeah, because it just deals with employment. So it's like a whatever bill. So there you have it. Anyways, I don't have anything else to add to this, but I'm not surprised of the lack of substance of these many issues that Obama should have dealt with. So there we have it. Well, State of the Union Address.